As a veteran working for SOEs, what do you still think is the significance of state-owned enterprises now when you look at the overall Chinese economy?
You look back in the past 10, 20 years and today, it's a big differences. In the past, SOEs dominant almost 100% of the whole market. And, during the 80s, there's no private sector. But gradually, private sector grown up gradually, and up to today, they have, relatively speaking, a significant role played already. But SOE in the manufacturing sector still playing a dominant role in every industries.
But at the same time, there are different complaints about SOE. Mm-hmm. For example, too much subsidies for SOE from the government, whether central or local. Mm-hmm. Secondly, there has been huge monopoly of SOE in certain industries. For example, in the natural resources where you used to work for. What do you make all of these challenges related to SOE?
Because I don't know what the definition of a monopoly, when you're using the definition of Western textbook and to explain what we are doing is not correct. This is because of the history. When any of the SOE grown up in the early age, there's no private sector. When there's no private sector, you have to do it, right? So when you're grown up, they gradually grown up. So size, capacity, a lot bigger than them, except for the foreign investors. How many Chinese private business can buy a big company like this? So this is a history issue, and with the growing forward, I think we need to have a same market condition.
According to the 18th Party Congress, the general principle about Chinese economy is to let market play a decisive role in allocating resources. This seems to go contradictory to what they consider as dominance of the SOE in the Chinese economy.
This is not conflict, because those are companies, even though you call it SOEs. But it's a real company because the board of the company making the decisions as to how you are going to invest, what kind of policies you have. None of the government officials sitting in your board, none of your decision need to approval for the government. So this is not conflict with the market play a decisive role, like either Apple. They are almost dominating in this market. However, they're still using the market way, not because your size or your marketing, you have larger shares, but because how you are going to play with the rules or market rules.
Very interesting. Now we are talking about supply side structural reform. Mm-hmm. That's a terminology being used very frequently these days. What would that mean for SOEs, especially those traditional manufacturing or natural resources?
Majority of the traditional manufacturing area is technology is lower, level is lower, and the efficiency is lower, especially they are not meeting our future demand of grain growth. This is not just products that the traditional industry produces not meeting the new requirement, that also is not grain. So energy efficiency, this is a very, very important to the traditional industry, and emission of the pollutants is another thing, and third one is the CO2 emission. China has committed carbon. That's right, carbon emission. The key area is energy efficiency. Once you get more energy efficiency, less emissions, pollutants, and CO2. So how we can do it? Technology. Actually, China has a lot of good technology existing already. Clean coal technology, and also, water treatment and the nitrogen dioxide, all those things. We have a very good technology in the private sector. they have provided very good already, but in the early years, they were either from Europe or from US, but now it's in China. So this will create a big new industry. And technology, when you using this, you upgrade your technology and you upgrade your competitiveness. So this actually, on the one hand, we cut or decapacity, second, upgrade our technology.